So let's go to the preview skills. But boom, here we go.
It's time to show you what I've got.
Oh, you gonna show it? So I'm working on my Asaria video, and boom, I'm going through the different characters that work with Rangers, completely irrelevant to this, and I'm like, whoa, wait, why is she here? And I'm like, wait, is Dingo here? Dingo is here. They're both in the journal. I had no idea that they were both in the journal. So I'm gonna actually do the reveals of both of them. Not like a reveal, they were already announced in the patch that they were coming, but they didn't showcase this stuff even though they were currently in the actual build of the game. So I thought I would go over their skills and do it with you guys. Starting off with Dingo and then go to Aramintha. Just because whatever, it doesn't really matter what order I do it in. But oh my god, yo, these characters are up there. And I'm kind of happy I didn't pull on Chloe and I already forgot the names, and says they're really cool. But these characters though, first off, it turned my boy Dingo into a Soul Weaver. So I was like, oh god. My man was not a high DPS character, but he was DPS-ish, and they turned him into a Soul Weaver. Oh, but no. Let's preview these skills and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me turn the volume up.
Fight me.
Yes. Alright, so cool thing about this is that his S1 attacks an enemy with a sharp dagger, healing the ally with the lowest HP. Amount recovered increases proportional to the damage dealt. So that right there should tell you that he's not actually he is a damage-oriented Soul Weaver. I think that they wanted to do this with Tamarine, but they just didn't feel like doing it. He was like, wait, let's just do it with Dingo. So he heals based on how much damage he does, which means you have to deal damage. I think Aether is pretty much the same way, but Aether is listed as a mage. So what's cool about this is that you have to consider, and I will show you guys a little bit, you have to consider the differences of the Soul Weaver artifacts that this guy can put on while he's still doing damage. The S2 Divine Punishment attacks all enemies with a giant gauntlet, healing the ally with the lowest health. A critical hit activates Punishment, which is the S1, and the amount recovered again is proportional to the damage that is dealt. So just with these two, you got this. This is the S1 that will heal. Obviously, it's not going to take damage. You can't see it.
I exist for my family.
So that would heal the person with the lowest health. This is also going to do the same thing.
Burn everything. Now is the time for flames.
Now's the time for flames. But also, you have to actually wait until he gets a crit. So let's wait until he gets a crit for the S1 trigger. There goes one crit. And then boom. Those two heals based off the damage that is dealt, right? So the healing, damage dealt increases here. S2, same thing, more damage, more healing, right? So one thing I do want to see is does the S1 trigger on only the person that got crit? Or does it trigger, you know, on the one that I click? I'm pretty sure it's the one that you click.
It won't take long. Will you fight me? I'm amused. This battle excites me.
It does whatever it wants. So, I don't know if that's, you know, obviously maybe they're still working on it. But I targeted the 3. These two got crit, and he hit this one that didn't get crit. So who knows? Maybe it's just random. He just hits again. I guess for the healing aspect of it, of being a Soul Weaver, it doesn't matter who he hits. But I would prefer he hits the target that I selected. All right, S3 time. S3 Sacred Power, which technically he has like the embodiment of the fire. Zerato has like the ice god, or whatever they call it, the spirit. But yeah, so I guess he has some power. Heals an ally and the caster with a sacred power, grants invincibility for 1 turn, and increases attack for 2 turns. Amount recovered increases proportionate to the caster's attack. Again, stacking attack on this guy. So, grant an extra turn that you can soul burn this for the S2, the S3 into S2 or S1, or S2, hope you get S1. That's a lot of damage potentially coming out from this guy. So that's pretty cool. Let's look at the animation.
With the power of a holy blaze, I exist for my family.
Pretty quick, nothing too flashy. Obviously, it's a buff super. So super S3, whatever. So it's pretty cool. But what I'm more curious about, which I'll just go into a little bit, just like a real curious thing, and just one artifact that I was thinking about when I saw him. One artifact that I thought about was the Idol's Jeer. Every time he would get attacked, he would give himself combat readiness because he would be the highest attack in the team, which would be kind of funny to give yourself 20%. That's crazy. Obviously, Celestine would actually be really good because his S2 triggers the S1. His S1 is the S1, and his S2 will be on cooldown your S1, so he'll be healing like crazy. That would be so cool. He would only Rod of Amaris on his S3, so that just doesn't seem worth it. But those two artifacts specifically, without me digging and doing a whole bunch of stuff, seem really interesting in my opinion. But let's go to the claim crap. Man, this character is going to get them money. This character might get them more money than Luna. I'm telling you. Not only is it Aramintha, which in my opinion was one of the cooler design characters, actually one of my top tier list of characters that I want, this character is even better. It's like they took her design and blew it out of proportion. Like, holy oof. So let's go to the preview skills. But boom, here we go.
It's time to show you what I've got.
Oh, she's gonna show it. Alright, so the S1 has a 65% chance to burn. Good enough here. What is that? 75% when you Molagore it, right? So that's cool, right? You can also affect chance. You can soul burn it to make sure that it actually lands. You know, and her being a light character is sky's the limit better that she's a light. So that means that it's a very, very high chance unless they have effective resistance to stop it. But you can soul burn it to burn anyway. Now that's important because the S2 attack activates flame release, which is, you know, like a Says thing, or who else has a trigger? Says, I'm trying to think of other characters, but Says is like one of the bigger ones that most people know. You attack and then your thing triggers, something triggers under certain circumstances. This one happens if they are burned after using S1. This happens. Attacks all enemies with the Mystic Fire energy. Increases the caster's combat readiness by 30%. Now you guys already know that I'm a glutton for counter, but this is also good again. I think most things that are good in counter is good for a dual attack as well. But really important that what it said is that after this, if a burn is there, it will trigger.
It's time for fireworks. Who first?
Now that happens. Same one thing as the S2 animation, right? It does damage. It's a actual damage skill and will give her combat readiness. Now, of course, that's really good. But what's really important here is that it doesn't matter how the burn got there. As long as there's a burn and the S1 hits, she will S2. That is how it is written. So we're gonna go here to the S3, which is bonkers busted. Drops in giant meteor to stun all enemies. By the way, it has no chance there. It's just you have to pass the resistance check there, or you're getting stunned. Your whole team gets stunned. Ridiculous. But it also has a 40% chance to leave 3 separate burn effects, which is ridiculous amounts of damage. But the animation also is good.
I can't take this anymore. They get on my nerves. I've got to remove them.
Ooh, talk that. So now you know that this specifically, she has 3 over here, right? This one didn't get this lucky mother. This one didn't get burned by the S1, but if I S1 him, he resisted. Doesn't matter. He had burn on him.
Show me what you've got.
So he still gets the S2 chill triggers. That's so good. God, that is good. That is ridiculously good. That is like, I wish that wasn't a 5-star Moonlight character good, so more people would have the opportunity to mess around with that. So like I said, obviously that'd be great on counter. They hit you, you counter, burn, S2, give yourself combat readiness so your turn comes quicker. Are you nuts? Like, you know, I'm always looking for the counter character. I'm always looking for the counter. This is where all my Mystic Summers are going, by the way. I will drop it all here. But what I need to know is her base speed. 106, not that bad. Anything over 100 I'm happy with. So, not that bad. Obviously you want to, the reason why is because you want to S3 and stun all the characters. There's no character, it's crazy that she has an S3 stun all characters that doesn't have a chance for it. Like, it just doesn't, I mean, it could be like, I could be reading this wrong with a 40%, because it says stun all enemies with a 40% chance each to burn, to put 3 burns. So it should be, Slud is completely not affected by that, only going up to 50% chance. Now, the mage artifacts or whatever, you know, like, they're not crazy. Obviously, Serarin, let me just go to them anyway. I mean, Abyssal Crown's a pretty good thing just to add to the stupid of the stun chance and just really get some lockdown going on. And I've really been wanting some, you know, genuine, consistent lockdown. And that's, if you have a stun that doesn't have a chance attached to it, that is very consistent. Obviously, where is it? Like I said, Siren for the more chaotic stuff in there. But even crazier, the Ka'ajara, you know, if they're debuffed, you do additional damage to them, and oh my god, like that, this opens up so much. It's a lot different than like Says and, you know, like Specimen Says, where he was kind of cool. He had ignored defense if he's stunned, but this character is, both of them just seem all around good. You know, there's not any mystic. You actually kind of build them both the same way, just that you have to change with the artifacts that they're gonna put on. But let me know what you guys think, because before there was just a picture, and I didn't know that they dropped them on the journal, and I was like, yo, that is so cool. That is crazy to see these two characters. And I was thinking like maybe it was there, but their skills were gonna be blocked out. But it was like, no, nobody. So after this, I gotta finish my Asaria video, but I just thought I would go in and, just because I saw it and I was too hyped. It's one of those moments where you make a video, you don't care about actually how many views it gets. It's just you have to do a video because your reaction is still there, and I didn't want to do like this lapse reaction thing where it's like, oh, let me just wait until the thing comes out and pretend like I didn't know what the skills were. Like, no, I couldn't. So hopefully you guys appreciate the generosity? No, I'm just kidding. I know that's not the right word. But I'll see you guys in the Asaria video, which is coming up. So enjoy that, and I'll be in the Asaria video.